welcome all to a quick video that I just had enough time to get up due to some downtime on a project I'm working on that's been slightly delayed. But it's good timing because ahead of E3 in 2 weeks, AMD have launched its new hardware using their 14nm Finfet technology designed around its latest GCN architecture, Polaris. But these are not the headline-grabbing power wars from Nvidia's 1080 launch a few weeks ago, but instead they grabbed the headlines and most likely a larger market share instead, with a card that could redefine mainstream performance and become its, if not the most successful card this generation. The first batch of cards, Polaris 10 and 11, are aimed at the entry and mainstream levels, and the debut of the RX480 is the bigger of the two, with 11, aka the RX470, to be even cheaper and released later. But this is far from what we class as a mainstream unit in terms of power, and that price makes nearly every other card seem irrelevant. Now these are bold statements from me, but I cannot stress how impressed I have been with AMD's long-running plan, and now we can see all the pieces falling into place. As I talked about nearly 2 years ago now with its mantle plans, DX12s and obviously hugely beneficial and influential console design wins, it has slowly built up its control over game development and began chipping away at the Nvidia market and mind share, which has increased since DX12 games started to ship. But I will cover more on that in an upcoming video, as here I just want to cover the new card and what this obviously means for the PC market and of course the next bout of consoles that I covered a few months back, as predicted, will all be based on this and possibly the new Zen CPU. This new card, the 36-core Polaris 10, is the pretty much nailed on one that will appear in the new Neo console. That should be officially announced in 2 weeks' time. Its bigger brother, the 480X, that will sport the full 40 cores, is the one that will appear in the next Xbox machine that again should be announced in the next week or so and could launch next year, or depending on their final launch plans and aims, they could even wait for the full-blooded Vega card. Now in the here and now, the 480 is a mammoth card with a minuscule price tag of only $199 for the 4GB version or $229 for the 8GB version, which most likely will become pounds here in the UK and a few more in euros, and I recommend the 8GB card to anyone and everyone. Now this price is even better than I expected, with a sub £200 card with 5.5 teraflops of performance, modern architecture, and competing with 980 and 980 Ti cards that cost twice that price. It also means you have a card that will outperform a GTX 970 quite extensively, or for around £50 to £100 less, depending on the model chosen. You can see how these things are stacking up. The price to performance ratio for this card is remarkable, and AMD's claims of lowering the TAM, total addressable market, or indeed increasing that with its new fabrication and products, is not as far-fetched at all. Now Polaris is based on the latest GCN 4.0 architecture, manufactured on Finfet fabrication, offering up twice the voltage leak improvement over previous generations, with overall much lower power consumption and better performance. It will fit into most towers and only need a single 6-pin source, or giving 1.7 times performance per watt, while AMD improved this further still to 2.8 times with its own technology improvements, meaning that the die shrink from 28nm is delivering a large chunk of the benefits, but not all of them. Now the new architecture for Polaris offers up some exciting benefits from previous cards, with features like memory compression, improved shader efficiency, primitive discard accelerator, and hardware scheduling. So conservative rasterization now makes its way to the red camp and should complete all DX12 enabled API options within hardware. Now among the others not fully shared, and this also means that its current lead on compute-based operations with its command controllers are all present and improved here. Another big win is the instruction prefetch improvements here. Better known on the CPU side, it will reduce and improve penalties on latency and bandwidth, as it predicts the data needed for instructions ahead of requirements, reducing latency and improving performance, which are only a benefit when this card is going to be very heavily marketed to solve your VR solutions. You are literally going to get a card at £200 that offers you up the ability to run VR games from both Oculus Rift and the Vive at those levels at a much lower entry level. This is really something that AMD are going to push really hard. You can't really blame them. Their card is really delivering the mass market appeal for something that may really improve over the next year or so. If VR does become successful, expect many machines and cards to be running AMD hardware throughout. Now, with the new card looking very attractive from both a price and performance level, the high end looking to compete or beat the 1080 may feel a little sad. And this is not that, although it was widely known it was not going to be that here. With its next card Vega due next year, with its HBM2 memory fixed on that target level, we could have a 1080 beating card at $200 less than the yet-to-release Green Machine. It also helps show just what AMD have been planning and how it is moving to expand its market share in what is a shrinking market overall. As the Zen is going to try and snatch back as much from Intel in its server-based options, this can only be a positive for AMD and a negative for Intel. And Nvidia is in exactly the same boat, a situation it is well aware of, as it has already been branching out into other areas over the past few years with its smart car projects. Having multiple prongs to control its brand awareness and astroturfing like few others, it may have started to run its course. I have made no secret of my disdain of some of Nvidia's practices over the years, and I am happy that AMD seems to be making a comeback with a product that is not only impressive, but offers up, more importantly, incredible value to us, the consumers, along with its far more open source approach to API models and features like FreeSync and the Linux driver. Now, performance wise, we have some leaked benchmarks that put this card into the 980 levels or just above that and around the Fury card, which is a very impressive level to set what is going to be a most likely widely adopted format. This means that many AAA games being designed with AMD hardware from both consoles and the ones to come, Nintendo are also most likely to join this. Along with their growing level of PC discrete GPUs, it will only strengthen its grip on game developers and increase the gap from its green rival. But the benefits do not stop here, with the new architecture also demonstrated using its multi-adapter configuration, allowing multiple GPUs to work in tandem for rendering, and this can and will include APUs. As in my console video, I feel this will pave the way for the next Xbox and possibly PlayStation to offer up simpler upgrade paths for the machines, selling a plug-in edition that will again be supported by the big software teams. Now yes, Crossfire and SLI has never been a success, and the demo shown against the 1080 did seem very weighted in AMD's favour, but the change here is that if it is no longer a niche market but instead far more widespread, it will only increase in its implementation and success. And as we know, and I have talked about far too much, it is all about the software that delivers, and engineers always like to exploit new technology when given the chance. I have my card put aside already for its June 29th launch, so check back to my channel and site then to get a full breakdown and review of the card along with the all-important real-time metrics up against other big cards. Now this year is going to be exciting no matter your chosen platform or vendor, but one star is burning bright ahead that could just be a real trailblazer. Apologies if this video was pretty short. I just wanted to get some detail on this card and obviously inform anyone that was looking to upgrade or at least jump into the PC market to hold fire and just wait and see what this delivers, which I'll give you the full breakdown on the 29th with my hands on, but I'll also be able to give you more information once I get more from AMD. All that said, I hope you guys and girls enjoyed this. If you did and want to look forward to my detailed look at this and the new consoles which will be up shortly, then please, if you enjoy this or any of my other content, support the channel by subscribing, liking if you actually did, and sharing this if any of this is relevant or anything else that I've covered in what you're talking about. Check out more information on this or other articles on my website. Follow me on Twitter. With all that said, you guys and girls take care, and I'll see you very soon on the next one.
Individually, carefully release the hinges